Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to another episode of NSE FinViz powered by CNBC TV18. Now, through this initiative, we're going around the country to meet the young workforce and talk to them about how they can take sound investment decisions. But we figured, let's meet the young people before they join the workforce. So today, we're at one of India's top B schools, NITI, in Mumbai. National Institute of Industrial Engineering, or NITI as it's popularly called, is a renowned business school in the heart of Mumbai. Established by the Government of India in 1963, the institute offers full-time postgraduate courses in industrial engineering as well as industrial management. Recognized as one of the 15 centers of excellence, NITI is a pioneer educational institute and has made a mark in the field of industry-specific research and training. Focusing on our themes for the series, NSE FinViz visited NITI to gauge the thoughts and notions of young scholars on investments and financial planning. Do you guys have any work experience before this, or have you just got into the MBA?
Yeah, I've had a prior experience of close to 3 years in Power Grid.
Okay. And you?
I have a work experience of almost 34 months in Sapient, Bangalore.
So during this tenure while you were working, your salaries, did you end up investing some of this, or how did it go about?
Yeah, I did end up investing. I'm into the SIP of mutual funds, so I used to save close to around 10% when I was working. And I also invested in some of the FPOs and IPOs.
Okay. And you?
I'm pretty bad at this because what I learned after my 3 years of working was that whatever amount you earn at the end of the month, everything is going to get over. So my saving is almost close to zero.
Let's talk goal setting. You guys are young now. Have you set any goals for yourselves? Midterm, 5-year, 10-year goals, anything? With regards to investment, I mean, looking at your money growing, what would it look like in 5 years, 10 years? Have you thought about that?
Not like on a very long-term goal, but probably once we start getting back to work, so then probably depending on how much we earn, then we'll allocate some of the funds towards investment.
How much of your current portfolio is in FDs, let's say?
So let's say of my total, if I'm investing 50% of it, 10% would go into FDs, 20% is into the mutual funds, and then I have some investments around 20%, again you can say, in gold.
Okay, cool. For your investments, how do you take the decision? Do you go to someone for advice? Do you read up in the news?
Initially, it was through my father's consultation. So I had some cash endowment, the endowment policy with the LIC that was there. So that was through my father's consultation earlier. And then for my mutual funds, the bank executive would actually go through different policies that are there.
We have some of our panel of experts coming here today at NITI. What would be some questions that you would want to ask them?
My question would be regarding the traditional investments like chit funds and real estate again, which no one much talks about in the full-time scenario. But I would like to explore more about that.
Everyone talks about diversifying the portfolio, but I'll be looking forward to the answer from them where they would advise me as of how to exactly diversify my portfolio, what kind of stocks to choose, how to do the analysis, and finally which sectors to invest in, which sectors not to invest in. These should be the ones which I will look forward from them.
Well, you just heard some young Nitians as they spoke about their thoughts on personal finance and investment. And it's now time to meet our experts as they dole out some sound financial advice to these young B school students. Well, we're now joined by two very special guests. We have Mr. Sanjay Tiwari, who's the head of products at HDFC Life Insurance Company. And we have Mr. Gaurav Mashruwala, who's a financial planner. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here this evening. Sanjay, my first question to you is insurance. Since you are from HDFC Life Insurance, tell us about the importance of insurance, because people do not give insurance its due importance.
When we talk about financial planning, insurance possibly takes a back seat, especially life insurance. And without understanding the true importance of what a life insurance product or plan plays in the role of financial planning is very, very important. And that too, whenever we start financial planning, the role of life insurance, the way we need to cover our risks. We are quite very knowledgeable about covering the risk of our assets, especially when we buy a car. We insure our cars immediately, but somewhere we forget insuring our lives. That's where I keep telling about my audience whenever we speak to. It's very important to think about life insurance as a very serious component of financial planning.
Do you think it's little to do with the fact that, for example, when you buy a car, it's mandatory to get a car insurance, otherwise you can't take it out on the road? Do you think it's a little bit of that if we made it mandatory?
Right, Sumit. I think any compulsion or any kind of mandate through law or through regulation, I think it drives our behavior. Whereas life insurance is important enough, but whether it can be mandated, I think it's very inherent in terms of to protect ourselves. It talks about protecting lives, our loved ones, our families, our milestones. So I think without making it inherent, it has to be a part of our financial hygiene to think about life insurance plan accordingly.
Okay. Gaurav, I want to talk to you about asset classes and diversification. So, like, insurance is an important part, but again, it should not be mixed with investment. And when we talk investment, sound financial planning, people talk about asset classes and diversification, but somehow it's not implemented correctly. What's your advice on that? What's your take?
So that's because people feel financial planning is investments, and which is wrong. Financial planning is much larger gambit. It's all about synchronizing four wheels of finance, which is income, expense, assets, and liabilities. And there are three stages to it. The basic is wealth protection, as to in case of any eventualities, is there enough contingency fund, is there enough health insurance, life insurance, and property insurance, that's protecting your wealth. Thereafter, you go to wealth accumulation, which is second stage, where you look at your loans and then you look at investments from a financial goals perspective and accumulating wealth for retirement. And the last stage is wealth distribution, where in your retirement, how do you distribute your own wealth to your own self, and upon your death, how does it go to next generation? Now, unless these three are not looked at in a comprehensive manner, it's just investment advisory and not financial planning.
Sanjay, when we talk about goal setting now these guys are really young. They're studying. They're doing their MBAs, most of them. They've worked a couple of years now. They've taken a break. They're studying. They'll get back to work. Is it too early for them to set goals? Because, I mean, how do they go about setting goals for their financial planning?
It's never too early to set goals. I mean, we plan for our lives, careers. Financial planning at an early stage is equally important. And when you think about, setting a goal, you have to have, we generally have our milestones very clear in our minds. This is where I'm going to be in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years and beyond. So when we are planning our lives accordingly, financial planning too plays a very important role, and it has to be planned equally at the same time. So the more we delay, the possibly we repent a lot later.
Okay.
So that's the point.
Gaurav, like I mentioned, these guys are now studying. They've worked a couple of years. They're taking a 2-year break. They're studying. Some of them have invested earlier, but now they've taken this break and now they'll get back to investing, hopefully once they start earning. Now the salary amount that they earn now once they get back might be smaller. It's a small start. They're starting fresh. How do they move around with their investment goals? Because, for example, these 2 years they're not earning, but if they've already taken SIPs or things like that, how do they work around this situation?
No. So you are saying that they have already committed to investments and they don't have income coming in? Well, the only option is stop those investments for time being, because you don't have any inflow. If you have any inflow, then keep investing, or you may want to reduce the amount. The portion of amount, a portion of inflow that you're allocating towards investment. So it depends how much is the inflow and the outflow, how much is surplus left, and based on that, decide how much you can set aside for your investments.
It is said debt, you should have your money, your investments in a spread out. So some in debt, some in equity, gold, etc., etc. How should they start this asset allocation by percentage wise? So they're earning X amount per month now, they'll start earning. How should they go about with asset allocation? Any rough figures?
So the general, if I have to speak about for a young crowd like this, if you have to start planning, somewhere you have an appetite for risk, but at the same time your income levels are not that great. So I would suggest that your portfolio has to be fairly balanced. So you start, because there is lots of information available in terms of what kind of asset class you need to invest. There are some mandatory deductions which happen in your salary. You have to think about that. Then there are certain deductions which are offered, through where you can save your income tax. under Section 80C of Income Tax Act. So all these avenues which can be utilized by investing in life insurance, buying medical insurance, and also diversifying into some FDs and some PPF account if you need to be.
NSE Finviz powered by CNBC TV 18 continues after this short break. Don't go anywhere.